will be followed by the national anthem. And I kindly request you to please stand up for the national anthem of India. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I will now request High Commissioner to kindly read out the address to the nation by Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, on the eve of the 74th Republic Day of India.
Honorable members of the Diplomatic Corps in Mozambique, distinguished officials of the government of Mozambique, my dear friends from the Indian community in Mozambique, excellencies, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar. At the very outset, on behalf of the High Commission of India in Maputo, I extend my warm and cordial welcome to all of you present here today on the historic occasion of the 74th Republic Day of India. I warmly felicitate you on this momentous day, particularly since it marks the beginning of our build-up to the extremely special 75th Republic Day of India that will be celebrated on this same day next year. Ladies and gentlemen, you are aware that Government of India celebrated the 75th anniversary of India's independence last year through diverse range of programs under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Honorable Prime Minister of India, His Excellency Mr. Narendra Modi, has now called upon every member of the Indian community across the globe to contribute towards India's development and welfare of its people as we undertake the journey towards the centenary of India's independence on 15th August 2047 as part of Amrit Kaal. Ladies and gentlemen, as India relentlessly strives towards addressing its developmental agenda, we are confident that besides being the oldest and the largest democracy of the world, we would also emerge as a fully developed nation with a GDP per capita of $15,000 on the centenary of our independence. The just concluded the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, made special mention of India as the only bright spot in global economy and possibly the only country that has registered remarkably positive growth rates in the post-pandemic world despite the ongoing global recession. Ladies and gentlemen, India has assumed the presidency of the G20 on December 1, 2022 and has adopted the theme One Earth, One Family, One Future that is an important component of our cultural and civilizational ethos. As India's outstanding economic performance stands as a shining example in the contemporary world, it is committed towards putting forward the voice of the Global South under its G20 presidency and formulating suitable measures to address the variety of concerns of deprivation of more than 3/4 of the people across the globe. India has successfully dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic, attributed to its stupendous efforts to expand the coverage of its vaccination drive to its 1.4 billion population, as also to the effectiveness of the Made in India vaccines that were administered to its nationals within the country. We now stand ready to help the world to deal with the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, as also the global economic recession. Ladies and gentlemen, India is grateful to the United Nations for declaring the year 2023 as the International Year of Millets. As the largest producer of millets in the world, India is proud and honored to celebrate it in the most befitting manner, based on our firm belief that millets can provide the most nutritious yet the cheapest staple diet for millions of people across the globe, and can thus act as an important stimulus and catalyst towards alleviating hunger and malnutrition from our world. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in the celebrations of the International Year of Millets this year, and let us organize a grand food festival in Maputo, where we may prepare and serve millet diet to the poor and the deprived, and build their capacities to prepare millet-rich meals to fulfill their hunger. Ladies and gentlemen, India has also made enormous progress in multifaceted domains in its bilateral relations with Mozambique since I last spoke to you on the occasion of the 75th anniversary of India's independence on 15th August 2022. Since then, we have had several high-level engagements between India and Mozambique. Most notably, Honorable President of the Republic of Mozambique, His Excellency Mr. Filipe Jacinto Nyusi, participated in the virtual Voice of the Global South Summit on 12 January 2023 that was witnessed by over 120 participating countries, including 20 head of states, head of governments from the developing world. Honorable Minister for National Defense of Mozambique participated in the DEF Expo 2022 and India-Africa Defense Dialogue 2022 at Gandhinagar in Gujarat in October 2022. Honorable Minister for Industry and Commerce of Mozambique participated in the 17th CII Exim Bank Conclave on India-Southern Africa Growth Partnership in Johannesburg from October 31 to November 1, 2022. The military cadets from Mozambique are presently in India, witnessing the prestigious Republic Day parade in New Delhi. Earlier, they had called on the Honorable Defence Minister of India and thereafter had travelled to Agra and Jaipur, where they had interacted with military cadets from other countries of the world besides those from India. Ladies and gentlemen, the popular Mozambican musical band Banda Kakana participated in the first ever Lusophone Cultural Week in Goa in December 2022. Unga Soli, another popular dance group from Mozambique, participated in the International Tribal Dance Festival at Chhattisgarh in India in November 2022. The bilateral developmental agenda between India and Mozambique has been extremely active and dense. We stand committed to not only maintain this momentum in our developmental partnership with Mozambique, but also to take it to the next high level in the coming times. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to your continued support and collaboration to consolidate and build upon India's bilateral relations with Mozambique in all conceivable areas of cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now avail of the honor to read out the speech delivered by the Honorable President of India on the eve of the 74th Republic Day of India. Namaskar, thank you, Jai Hind. Addressed to the nation by the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, on the eve of the 74th Republic Day. Dear fellow citizens, Namaskar. On the eve of the 74th Republic Day, I extend my heartiest greetings to every Indian at home and abroad. We will now enter the 75th year as a republic. From the day the Constitution came into effect to the present day, it has been an amazing journey that has inspired many other nations. Every citizen has reason to be proud of the Indian story. When we celebrate the Republic Day, we celebrate what we have achieved together as a nation. India is, of course, home to one of the oldest living civilizations. India is called the mother of democracy. As a modern republic, however, we are young. In the early years of independence, we faced countless challenges and adversities. Very high levels of poverty and illiteracy were just two of the many ill effects of long foreign rule. Yet, the spirit of India was undeterred. With hope and confidence, we began an experiment unique in the history of mankind. Such a vast and diverse multitude of people coming together as a nation remains unprecedented. We did so with the belief that we are, after all, one, that we are all Indians. We have succeeded as a democratic republic because so many creeds and so many languages have not divided us. They have only united us. That is the essence of India. That essence was at the heart of the Constitution, which has withstood the test of time. The Constitution that started governing the life of the Republic was the outcome of the freedom struggle. The national movement led by Mahatma Gandhi was as much about winning independence as about rediscovering our own ideals. Those ideals of struggle and sacrifice helped us win freedom, not only from colonial rule, but also from the imposed values and narrow worldviews. Revolutionaries and reformers joined hands with visionaries and idealists to help us learn about our age-old values of peace, brotherhood, and equality. Those who shaped the modern Indian mind also welcomed progressive ideas from abroad, following the Vedic advice, Ano Bhadra Kattavo Yantu Vishwata. Let noble thoughts come to us from all directions. A long and profound thought process culminated in our Constitution. Our founding document is inspired by the humanistic philosophy of the oldest living civilization in the world, as well as new ideas that emerged in more recent history. The nation will always remain grateful to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who headed the drafting committee of the Constitution and thus had a critical part in giving it the final shape. On this day, we should also remember the role of the jurist, B.N. Rao, who had prepared the initial draft, and other experts and officers who helped in making of the Constitution. We are proud of the fact that the members of that assembly represented all regions and communities of India, and that they included 15 women too. संविधान में निहित आदर्शों ने निरंतर हमारे गणतंत्र को राह दिखाई है। इस अवधि के दौरान भारत एक गरीब और निरक्षर राष्ट्र की स्थिति से आगे बढ़ते हुए विश्व मंच पर एक आत्मविश्वास से भरे राष्ट्र का स्थान ले चुका है। संविधान निर्माताओं की सामूहिक बुद्धिमत्ता से मिले मार्गदर्शन के बिना ये प्रगति संभव नहीं थी। बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर और अन्य विभूतियों ने हमें एक मानचित्र तथा एक नैतिक आधार प्रदान किया। उस राह पर चलने की जिम्मेदारी हम सब की है। हम काफी हद तक उनकी उम्मीदों पर खरे भी उतरे हैं, लेकिन हम ये महसूस करते हैं कि गांधी जी के सर्वोदय के आदर्शों को प्राप्त करना अर्थात सभी का उत्थान किया जाना अभी बाकी है। फिर भी हमने सभी क्षेत्रों में उत्साहजनक प्रगति हासिल की है। Dear fellow citizens, in our mission of Sarvodaya, the most encouraging has been the progress made on the economic front. Last year, India became the 5th largest economy in the world. It needs to be underlined that this achievement comes against the backdrop of high economic uncertainties around the world. The pandemic has entered the 4th year, affecting economic growth in most parts of the world. In its initial phase, COVID-19 also hurt India's economy badly. Yet, guided by our able leadership and driven by our resilience, we soon came out of the downturn and resumed the growth saga. Most sectors of the economy have shaken off the pandemic effect. India has been amongst the fastest growing major economies. This has been made possible by timely and proactive interventions from the government. The Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative in particular has evoked great response among people at large. there have also been sector-specific incentive schemes. It is a matter of great satisfaction that those on the margins have also been included in the schemes and programs, and they have been helped in tiding over difficulties. By implementing the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, announced in March 2020, the government ensured food security for poor families at a time when the country was facing economic disruption in the wake of unprecedented outbreak of COVID-19. Because of this help, no one had to go hungry. Keeping the welfare of poor families paramount, the duration of the scheme was extended successively, benefiting about 81 crore fellow citizens. Further, extending this assistance, the government has announced that even during the year 2023, the beneficiaries will get their monthly ration free of cost. With this historic move, the government has undertaken the responsibility of caring for the weaker sections while also benefiting them, also enabling them to benefit from economic development. With the economy on a sound footing, we have been able to begin and carry forward a series of praiseworthy initiatives. The ultimate goal is to create an environment in which all citizens can, individually and collectively, realize their true potential and prosper. As education builds the right foundation for this purpose, the National Education Policy has introduced ambiguous changes. It rightly addresses the twofold aims of education as an instrument of economic and social empowerment and as a means to explore truth. The policy makes our civilizational lessons relevant for contemporary life, while also preparing the learner for the 21st century challenges. The National Education Policy appreciates the role of technology in expanding and deepening the learning process. I beg your pardon, the National Education Policy rightly addresses the twofold aims of education as an instrument of economic and social empowerment and as a means to explore truth. It has introduced ambitious changes. As we have now come to realize, since the early days of COVID-19, technology offers life-changing possibilities. The Digital India Mission is striving to make information and communication technology inclusive by bridging the rural-urban divide. More and more people in far-flung places have been reaping the benefits of the internet and are receiving a variety of services provided by the government as the infrastructure expands. We have reasons to be proud of our achievements in the domain of science and technology. India has been among the handful of pioneers in space technology. As long-pending reforms in this sector are underway, private enterprises are now invited to join the quest. The Gaganyaan program to carry Indian astronauts into space is under progress. This will be India's maiden human space flight. Yet, even as we reach out to the stars, we keep our feet on the ground. India's Mars mission was powered by a team of extraordinary women, and our sisters and daughters are not far behind in other areas too. Women's empowerment and gender equality are no longer mere slogans, as we have made great progress towards these ideals in recent years. With people's participation in Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign, women's representation has been rising in every sphere of activity. During my visits to various states, educational institutions, and while meeting delegations of various professionals, I am amazed by the confidence of young women. I have no doubt in my mind that they are the ones who will do the most to shape tomorrow's India. What miracles cannot be achieved if this half of the population is encouraged to contribute to nation building to the best of their ability? The same vision of empowerment guides the government's approach to the marginalized communities, including the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. In fact, the aim is not only to remove hurdles and help them in development, but also to learn from them. Tribal communities in particular have rich lessons to offer in many areas, ranging from protecting the environment to making the society more cohesive. Dear fellow citizens, as a result of a series of initiatives in recent years to transform all aspects of governance and unleash creative energies of people, the world has started to look at India with a new sense of respect. Our interventions in various world forums have started making a positive difference. The respect that India has earned on the world stage has resulted in new opportunities as well as responsibilities. This year, as you know, India holds the presidency of the Group of 20 Nations. With our motto of universal brotherhood, we stand for peace and prosperity for all. Thus, the G20 presidency is an opportunity to promote democracy and multilateralism and the right forum for shaping a better world and a better future. Under India's leadership, I'm sure G20 will be able to further enhance its efforts to build a more equitable and sustainable world order. As G20 represents about 2/3 of the world population and around 85% of the global GDP, it is an ideal forum to discuss and find solutions for global challenges. To my mind, global warming and climate change are the most pressing amongst them. Global temperatures are rising and incidents of extreme weather are increasing. We are faced with the dilemma. To lift more and more people out of poverty, we need economic growth. But that growth comes also from fossil fuel. Unfortunately, the poor bear the brunt of global warming more than others. Developing and popularizing alternative sources of energy is one of the solutions. India has taken a commendable lead in this direction by giving a policy push to solar energy and electric vehicles. At the global level, however, emerging economies need a helping hand from advanced nations in the form of technology transfer and financial support. To maintain the balance between development and environment, we have to look at the ancient traditions with a new perspective. We need to reconsider our basic priorities. The scientific aspects of traditional life values have to be understood. We must, once again, rekindle that respect for nature and humility before the vast universe. Let me state here that Mahatma Gandhi was a true prophet of our times, as he foresaw the calamities of indiscriminate industrialization and cautioned the world to mend its ways. We too need to modify our lifestyle if we want our children to live happily on this fragile planet. One of the changes suggested pertains to food. I'm happy to note that the United Nations accepted a suggestion from India and declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. Millets were essential ingredients of our diet, and they are making a comeback among sections of the society. Coarse grains like millets are eco-friendly as they require less water to grow, and yet they provide high levels of nutrition. If more and more people turn to millets, it will help conserve ecology and also improve health. One more year has gone by for the Republic and another year commences. It has been a time of unprecedented change. With the outbreak of the pandemic, the world has changed within a matter of days. During these 3 years, whenever we have felt that we have finally put the virus behind, it raises its ugly head. However, there is no need to panic, because we have learned in this period that our leadership, our scientists and doctors, our administrators and corona warriors will make every possible effort to meet any situation. At the same time, each of us has also learned to not let our guard down and remain alert. प्यारे देशवासियों, विभिन्न क्षेत्र में कार्यरत कई पीढ़ियों के लोग हमारे गणतंत्र की अब तक की विकास गाथा में अमूल्य योगदान के लिए प्रशंसा के पात्र हैं। मैं किसानों, मजदूरों, वैज्ञानिकों और इंजीनियरों की भूमिकाओं की सराहना करती हूँ, जिनकी सामूहिक शक्ति हमारे देश को जय जवान, जय किसान, जय विज्ञान, जय अनुसंधान की भावना के अनुरूप आगे बढ़ने में सक्षम बनाती है। मैं देश की प्रगति में योगदान देने वाले प्रत्येक नागरिक की सराहना करती हूँ। भारत की संस्कृति और सभ्यता के अग्रदूत प्रवासी भारतीयों का भी मैं अभिवादन करती हूँ। On the occasion of the Republic Day, I convey my special appreciation to all our Jawans who guard our borders and are ready to make any sacrifice for the country. I also express my appreciation for all the brave soldiers of paramilitary forces and police forces who provide internal security to our fellow citizens. I salute all the brave hearts of our armed forces, paramilitary forces and police forces who laid down their lives in the line of duty. I convey my blessings to all the dear children for their bright future. Once again, I extend my best wishes to all of you on this Republic Day. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much.